Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, whenever you decide to listen to us. This is episode 71 of the Take a Pull podcast with Andy Cummins and Declan Carroll, where we are covering the Munster National. One of the kind of main steeplechases of the handicap steeplechases of the early season. Obviously, Dec, we had the Kerry National only a few weeks ago, and this kind of, we go Kerry National, Munster National, Tri-Town, Paddy Power Chase, and that's all these type of horses usually run in. But how are you? Any crack?
Yeah. No, I'm good. Like, I just field size wise, it feels like we're back
Yeah,
this weekend.
slowly but surely. Like, we do only have 5 in the beginners, but like we are getting there bigger fields elsewhere. Yeah,
we had good beginners. We quite a deep beginners at Punchestown on Wednesday.
Yeah,
the one that was won by. Remind me who won it.
Fast Mode, was it?
Ascot mode, yeah. Like, there's plenty to watch. Clonshire River came home
nice,
really well. Yeah. And he's a horse now that he struggled to win. He was a professional loser over hurdles, and he was second a lot, but he is a point-to-point winner. He's a horse who could turn inside out over fences. So I think they done the right thing with him, burying him at the back. But, like, get him a really nice mark and you could win a couple of chases.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you.
He caught my eye now in that race.
What did you think about Facile Mode? And obviously he's they've used that meeting now to win a maiden hurdle and now a beginner's chase. And obviously he was decent off a bit of a break when he won his bumper off maybe was he on race when he won his bumper possibly?
He might have won on debut, yeah.
Yeah, and I know he didn't win at the Punchestown Festival, I don't think. We did win at Punchestown towards the end of the season. That win at the end of last season kind of made me think, I was starting to think, does he need to be fresh?
He won in June, was it?
June, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it would have been June, yeah. Does he need to be fresh, though? That's the big question.
I don't know. I think we'll see a different horse this year, because I didn't think he had that in him now today. He got into a fight, and when he got into a fight, I was stuck. 2 horses got into a fight and surprised me. French Dynamite, but I think he put that purely down to fitness. He's had the run but he ran the Galway Plate, and he won I was second. Was he in the race at Garrynacurra Park?
French Dynamite?
Yeah. Look, when Manella Indo got to him, I was like, look, French Dynamite's being so. I think it was purely down to fitness. But with Facile Mode, I was impressed by the way he went and won that, because I thought he was a bit soft. Maybe he's just grown up a little bit, and you could see a completely different horse this year. I hope we do.
Yeah, well, look, they campaigned him pretty aggressively last season, so not saying he's going to win it, but they won't be afraid of running him in a race like the Drinmore. They may as well, I suppose. If you think he's going to be a high-end handicap chaser, you can, why not aim high with him? Because he's shown the ability to be at least a mid-130s hurdler, and there's, 6 rising 7. There's probably no reason to think he's going to be at least a 6 or 7 pounds better over fences. So yeah, why not? See how he goes. Nice horse going forward for sure. Right, Dec, is there anything else you wanted to cover that we kind of missed? I know you were away during the week. You probably have a little bit to catch up on, but we're going to cover the Munster National card now in a moment. But anything else?
Well, look, I didn't see anything from Tuesday, but I was there on Wednesday, and look, I was taking Facile Mode away from it. The way he did battle, I didn't expect that. Obviously, Clonshire River came home really, really nice, having been out the back. I actually backed Clonshire River. I was got 50-1. I just thought it was a horse with too much quality, that if he was off in the beginners, he could certainly run into a place. But I'll definitely have him, and he's in the top tracker now for when he goes into handicaps. And I thought the bumper winner was very good under a penalty. I know Josh Williamson's taken off 7, but he rode him the last day. So, I thought he was impressive.
Ted Welch horse, wasn't it?
Ted Welch horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Friary Road, I think.
Yeah, no, it looks like he'd appreciate a bit of a trip over hurdles as well. It took him a minute to get going, but he was well on top of the line. Yeah, definitely did it nicely. Right, we'll move on then to the 130, the PWC Mares Maiden Hurdle, the opening race on the Sunday of Munster National Day. So, yeah, I know what you were saying here, Dec, 16 runners, so we have kind of got a bigger field back. I was talking a little bit before we went on about Clever Minded, who I thought ran nice races and bumpers. Now she goes hurdling for the first time with a tongue tie. Probably not going to be her day on Sunday, but a mare that I think can definitely win races over intermediate trips this season. So looking forward to seeing how she gets on. Probably covered by a few of these in the field, is what you said. Vadsa Queen has a Irish rating of 104. You would like to think there's a few in here that will be better than that. But Dec, who do you like here? This is not a bad race. It's definitely better than some of the maiden hurdles we've been covering recently. But who do you fancy?
Yeah, definitely. Look, yeah, I'm Clever Minded. Like, she was beaten 11 lengths in a bumper. It was won by Mehel. Mehel has followed up, and actually the second, the Emmett Mullins horse, I think it's Emmett Mullins, has won also. But my best, she did beat Mehel in a bumper, but she was bitterly disappointing at Gowran. You're willing to forgive that. She could have a chance here, but Blue Mosque, there was a lot of noise about her when she won her bumper on debut at Naas back in April, and I reckon she could be quite a nice one. She's the least exposed horse in the field, so I'd be so she's coming in 1 from 1, where a lot of these have been, inconsistent, typical mares. Blue Mosque hasn't been given that opportunity to show any inconsistency yet, but I'd imagine she'll be favourite.
She should probably take a fair bit of beating, all right.
She's the one with the most potential.
Yeah, no, probably is. If I got a big enough price, I probably would back Clever Minded each way, because she, in that race, it was Mummy Derry was the horse you were thinking about, Dec. Willie Mullins actually trains that in the Paul Byrne colours, sister or half sister to Splan's Tower, actually. So I thought that was a decent bumper, and they did back her that day. They backed her early door. She drifted a bit at the off. I'm very interested to see now she goes hurdling, but she'd definitely be more interest for me over 2.5 miles in the future. But I if I got a double figure price, Keith Donoghue riding for Philip Dempsey. So I think that's an interesting enough runner. And if there was money for her, I definitely give her a second look in this race. So I'll probably take a chance on her each way, and you're going to stick with the one that there was a whisper about in April, Blue Mosque, is it?
Yeah, it's probably not going to be a betting race for me, but like if you're asking me to select the most likely winner, it's probably going to be it'll be Blue Mosque. Like, as I said, I was at Naas that day, and there was plenty of word for her, and I think she battled hard. She thinks she got showed a good attitude, or maybe it was just the penny drop late, but there's plenty to take away from it as well,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Another maiden hurdle next, Dec, the 205, the Garrynacurra stud C&G maiden hurdle for 5-year-olds and up, 2 miles the trip again. Look, not the strongest looking of maiden hurdles possibly. Sporting Glory is going to be the interesting runner, I would imagine. He was a nice horse. Took him a long time to kind of hit the track, but when he did, he made up for plenty of lost time. 2nd and 2 bumpers, and then obviously won one himself. And then I think he was debuted in the Grade 2, similar to Farron Glory, wasn't it? Behind Mirzor West. He's an 8-year-old now, rising 9. And Peter Fahey has lost him. He's gone to Gordon Elliott. He is 8 rising 9, as I said. So, he is old enough, but like surely that form is strong enough just to go and win this, isn't it?
I don't know. The fact that he is 8 has turned me off, and like he was 2nd and 2 bumpers. One of them was behind Romeo Coolio, and the owners have actually bought him, keeping the dream alive. Syndicate, I think they're called. And then he won. He actually won at Fairy House on the day that Jouster in 10 Traffles and I Am Maximus won. Bobby Joe Chase Day. He wasn't beaten too far. Like, he obviously fought in that Grade 2, but I'm not sure that was the deepest of races. I'm not sure the form's going to work out too well. I don't think it has to date anyway. So I know we spoke about it on the last tap or maybe the one before that, but I would take him on. I think it's going to be quite short, and it would probably be Wrecking Ball Billy. Do you reckon that's it?
Wrecking Ball Billy.
Wrecking Ball Billy. He's a bumper winner. Western Fold, who we spoke a good bit about last year, and I quite fancied gone to Cheltenham, was back in third. He was then third to Firefox next time out at Down Royal. Hasn't been seen since, but I would say there's a lot more potential with that 5-year-old than there is with Sport and Glory, and I can see Sport and Glory maybe being a little bit disappointing. I wouldn't say he was cheap either.
120 grand. So yeah, pricey enough for an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Look, I do think though, like the form that he's shown is like good enough to win a race of this nature, even if he is a like I don't think there's enough. There's not enough. I think outside of. I know you're saying with Wrecking Ball Billy would have a chance for sure, and he is the younger horse, possibly has a bit more improvement in him. But what's been achieved by Sport and Glory in his career to date, like decent fourth in it, albeit a weak enough grade 2, but running Romeo Coolio to within, I think, was a length and a half or so. I think that'll just be good enough to win. He's already shown he can hurdle, so I'll keep it simple. It'll be Sport and Glory for me, and it's Wrecking Ball. Wreck-It Ralph for you, is it? Wrecking Ball Billy. Very good. Right, on to the 240, which is the Crown Paints handicap hurdle. No finer paint to paint your gaff with, I suppose. 80 to 109 deck, 2.5 miles to trip. Look, it's a pretty competitive race. There's a couple in here that, coming off a win last time out, including King Cali and In for the Night. In for the Night especially hit the bar a few times and got it right last time out. I would be surprised if he wasn't favourite based on what he did last time. Won that off 97. Stays in the 80 to 109 bracket as well. He's in here off 105. That's usually enough ticky boxy for me to go with him. But I'll see what you think about it, Dec.
Well, our mate Ed Colley has one in here.
He does.
Ed Colley had a wonderful Christmas. He won that award. I can't remember the name. It was best trainer of the festive period. Strokes trophy.
Pay for the upcoming calendar year mistakes, or I think he won. Yeah.
Look, he runs Credit Control here. He's a 7-year-old. We don't often like to see that. Never been off and never really got well, apart from once ran into second by accident, but has never almost won a race before that weakened. How'd you come to win a race and suddenly weakened?
You finished 5th. Yeah, no, you can see here closest. Well, look, beaten 24 lengths by Brighter Days Ahead. A third is not a bad run. But you do love to see it towards rear of midfield, held up in rear. No telling impression. Like you're playing spotlight bingo. And she has her handicap experience down to 94. Can she go well fresh though in the first time tongue tie? So that's the question.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like we're staying on handicap debut, and we're up in trip here. We're up half a mile. It is taking a lot of boxes. It's just off since November. Will the horse take another run? So I'm gonna take 2 in it because I can't not. I'd say this thing will open up big. This
probably should do, yeah.
Could be bar. We'll know when they're circling if the horse is going to take a run, or they are off. But I can't not back the horse. But another one of our mates from over the Christmas period is in here, Billy Lee Swagger. He's still only a 5-year-old. He won off 89. He's been second and fourth since. Tiernan Power Roach now takes off 7. So what is he? He's back down to 104. He's back down to 97. So probably £8 above that winning mark. Moving. I reckon Billy Swagger is going to give this a good go as well. And Philip has told us to keep an eye on him this winter as well.
He has, yeah.
He'll be very dangerous, that £7 claim. So I'll take the 2 of them, Billy Swagger and Credit Control.
Yeah, I'm wondering now, will they go chasing with Billy Lee Swagger eventually? I imagine they will. But they obviously think that he has a bit of room off 104, and given his form, he probably does. The one I'm going to go with, Dec, is Ask the Bookie of Gillian Scott. So a few eye-catching runs last season. 4th behind Waterford Whispers and a maiden at Galway. I think that might have been top 1 or 2. and then back that up with a good second to Champagne Admiral at Limerick in a maiden. Champagne Admiral, I think, went on to win. I think he ended up beating Waterford Whispers at Christmas time, I think. 28th or 29th in December up at Leopardstown. Wasn't beaten far by Champagne Admiral that day, 2 lengths or so. It didn't go that well after that. They went in 2 maidens behind Mr. Giff and Stormbreaker. But he's down to 105, and based on his form at Waterford Whispers and Champagne Admiral in October and November of last year, both around that time of year that we're in now, like he could be very dangerously handicapped off 105. Has a run as well to take the edge off as well. So look, if this horse has the ability that he showed behind Waterford Whispers and Champagne Admiral, it could be a case of, he'll just go and win. Be interesting to see what the market says about him. But be asked a bookie for me. I think looks pretty well treated off 105 personally. Anything else, Dec, then for that race? Were you happy to move on?
Oh, happy to move on, yeah.
Absolutely. Qualified Riders Race J, T McNamara Series, handicap hurdle. There's going to be a few of these throughout the season. We'll probably cover most of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Good series, this.
I think it's for amateur jockeys claiming 7.
I think so, yeah. I think you can only, or you haven't, for maybe jockeys that have only won a certain amount of races, or well, obviously that's it, claiming 7. Yeah. It's the same thing, really. So 18 runners, unsurprisingly, very, very full. The thing about this series though is it's very hard. Like it's really, really difficult because, like, albeit like amateur riders, you're probably taking you're taking the jockey into account as well as the form, I suppose. So really, really difficult. Deck. Is there anything that you came down on here?
Yeah, I really like me and Mrs. Lee.
Right.
She is making her handicap debut. But her second maiden run was over 2 mile 5, and she was towards rear, kept on, never near her. Just didn't get close enough to mount the challenge. The race had got away from her. She dropped back to 2 mile then. Lee Shanahan takes the ride, and Lee Shanahan he's working in Ross's, and he is a nice rider, but I'm told he could be very, very dangerous now this winter as well with a 7-pound claim.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, look, although it's our handicap debut, there's a few of them in here making handicap debut. And just looking at that run over 2 mile 5, drop back to 2 mile then, now we're back up to 3 miles, and there was the jockey booking as well. I think look, Norman Lee is well able to do this as well. Norman Lee's a very good trainer, so I'd be keen enough now on me and Mrs. Lee.
It's an interesting name as well, me and Mrs. Lee, for Norman Lee, owned by Norman Lee as well. So
and ridden by Lee.
And ridden by Lee's everywhere. I'm gonna have to sit in the fence for this one, Dec. I just couldn't make heads or tail of that form. So I'll follow you in on the Lee horse. But I found that race very, very difficult. The main event is next, the JT McNamara Munster National Handicap Chase Grade 3 event. It's going to get to the stage where the top weight Yanadil gets, he could be dangerous here. He's 18-1. We do have betting. Peter Smithers takes 7 pounds off, and the handicappers dropped him to 150. So we're going to be seeing him in this type of kind of 150 down handicap chases going forward. And I wonder if there's going to be one in him as he continues to tumble down the weights. It mightn't be Sunday. But he'd have a very, very good chance. And I finally get to see the company sergeant running one of these. I fancied him for the Garrynacurra second reserve, didn't get in. Be interesting to see how he runs now up to 3 miles. But Dec, who do you like here?
I do like the company sergeant. There's 2 I'll take it. The company sergeant is one of them. He won his beginners over 2 mile 2. He was third the last time out. He's up to 3 miles now. Still only a 7-year-old. He feels like he's been around for a long, long time. But
yeah, absolutely.
He was one that was sticking out to me here. Harantu Derry. Yeah, we'll go with Harantu. Another 7-year-old. Got £4 for the second to Florida Porter, but he was 13 lengths of third. Lucid Dreams, who expected to turn up here. This is second handicap. Look, he's going to go close. The other one I'm going to take is another choice, 7-year-old. Matt Smith actually spoke quite highly of this horse a couple of years ago on USO. One night he came on with us. was second to Buddy One, given £7 at Galway. Yeah, look, he's a bumper winner, he's a hurdle winner, and he's a chase winner. So he just needs to add a really big handicap to it. Battle Over Dying won the Blazers. Could you see him getting into it, Andy?
I think he's had his day in the sun now. He's back up to 131. Obviously well capable back in the day of winning off that, but they did manage to get him down to 123, and he got £8 for beating him off a clown by a nose. Like, that should stop an 11-year-old, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, he's a lovely jumper if he gets into a rhythm. I've always thought he wanted a trip. Hurricane Georgie's one you couldn't discount. She's still only 7 as well. Another one who's been around for a long time. She won the Midland National. She was 8 at Listowel, but she has one here, and she's one that's going to run a race. I think she could pick up some place money. But look, I'm with another choice. I'm hoping for the big run. I think the horse has it in him, but I'd be if I had to pick one, it's the Company Sergeant. But I'll take the 2. All
right, very good. Yeah, it's nice to see Grandero Bello back chasing as well. The horse I had loads of time for as a young horse. Like, chased home Braun when was only beaten the neck by Braun in a real small field, beginners. We then backed Braun for the RSA at the time. He was 3rd. And I thought that, maybe Grandero Bello could be a horse that would go right to near the top. Made no mistake in the beginners next time out. Bumped into the Devil's Coachman at this course and distance in March of 23, and then he just hasn't been fit really since it. I think he ran in the good novice handicap chase by Kilcrut, and then basically missed all of last year with the exception of one run over hurdles.
He was quite disappointed when he ran. I wonder, is he?
I think he needs soft ground for a start, for sure. So I don't think he'd run if they didn't get sufficient rain. I think he has the ability, though, if they can get a clear run with him. I think he's the ability to win something like a Tri-Town or a Paddy Power Chase or something like that. But they're going to want to get this run into him. They're going to want to get a clear run into, just a clear run into him. It won't be Sunday, but I suspect this horse can win a decent handicap chase. He's still only 8 rising 9. He was a young horse when he had all that ability, and I'm just happy to see him back now. Hopefully, he can just have a nice run with him.
I think I did good bet on him that day at Punchestown when.
I think it was just the ground. He was changing his legs the whole way up the straight, and then it wasn't great that we didn't see him again for basically 10 or 11 months. So I'd say you're only going to see him on soft ground going forward. I'm going to stick with the Company Sergeant, though, as I said, Dec. I very much like this horse, and I think they basically nearly stopped him to win a beginners at the Galway Festival. They backed him off the boards to beat Merlin Joined. The run behind San Salvador, I was minorly disappointed about, but on reflection, San Salvador is probably a very nice chaser, and the horse that he beat, Jordan, went and won the Grade 3 midweek Punchestown. So that race at Listowel, it was probably strong, and maybe that race at Roscommon was possibly strong as well for the time of year. So unexposed at this trip, and I do think he has a race in him, and I'd imagine this is a race I'd have him ready for. So the Company Sergeant for me. Looking forward to seeing him.
Andy, I'm just slight worry is how well handicapped is he on the back of those?
Yeah, no, I get that, but like, if I fancied him for the Kerry National, like, first of all, you need to be this rating to kind of get into these type of races. So look, I have a lot of faith that he'd be okay in a race of that nature. And if he doesn't stay, I could see him running in something like the Paddy Power at Cheltenham, and I'd probably give him another go on that as well. I don't know if there's entries for that, is there? There might be entries out for that already. Oh, no, definitely not.
No.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, it's interesting. I'd say they might go to England with him. He's a horse that I think could win a handicap chase, a decent handicap chase this year. So, the Company Sergeant for me and yourself, Dec. Then you're going to have a little each way bet and another choice, is it?
I am, yeah.
Nice. Happy days. Right, on to the 425, the STL Logistics Handicap Chase. Not a bad race here either. 2.5 miles. Decent grade, decent standard. Railway Hurricane, who finally kind of got it all together. Like he just looked like a lost cause, but they managed to get a win out of him. Good to see. The King of PR is another horse that you loved from down the past, Dec. And then a few horses that I've gotten gotten stung on in the past. I see Invictus Mashing managed to finally win last time out, which is good. Gavin Cromwell absolutely carpet bombing this race, and Midnight it is in here as well. And then we've got Palace Rock, and a horse that I've got stung on more times than I can count as well. And of course the big chap and Chantrouez, like Jenny Mac, this is a top Hall of Fame race here, and El Champo. Like we talked about all these like in great detail on many different podcasts, Dec, but you're gonna have to choose at least one of them. So who do you like?
Look, I've a list of 5 here.
Of course you do.
Look, the Dash at Conway, found only Sam Raw too good off 130. Really, really consistent horse, but it's kind of like we'll pick up races, but always a horse that's in the grasp of the handicapper, but is still so consistent where you can just fall in some of the days when the race isn't that deep. But this race probably is going to be too deep for that to happen. Magic Tricks, 4 chases, won a beginners in May, went off favourite in a handicap last month. Don't know what to make of this horse because won off 138 and was disappointing the last day. If you want to put a line through that off 130, looks thrown in, but just hard to trust. Palace Rock, a 7-year-old that won a handicap hurdle off 125, in it off 123. But there's 2 I really, really like. There's one I like, there's one I really, really like. Natural Luck, she won a handicap off 114 last October. She's in here for 120. She's a hurdle winner in May, and she was unlucky, very unlucky. She bumped into, was it Monbeg? No, who was it?
Natural Luck, was it?
Natural Luck. She bumped into something at Kilbeggan the night.
The Wall Park.
Who was it?
The Wall Park.
The Wall Park, yeah. Like, bumped into a horse first time in a handicap that was obviously well handicapped. And that could have been 2 hurdles. She's quite consistent, and she's going to give this a right go. I think Tom Harney's taken off 7, but the one I really, really like is, and you mentioned him, Andy, it's the King of PRs. Still only a 6-year-old. Another horse who feels like he's been around for a long, long time. Won a beginners over 2 miles and a rated novice chase here at Limerick. Was 4th at Easter off 129. 128 here, and steps up and trip for the first time in his career. Having ran a lot, was still only a 6-year-old. I think he's the one that takes all the beating here. I'd be very, very keen on the King of PRs here.
King of PRs. Okay.
Yeah, look, he's a horse. He's won plenty. He's won, he's won more than that day that we said he'd win over hurdles anyway. He could nearly become a serial winner. I think this horse is really, really nice. And as a 6-year-old, like to be down a pound below that mark where he was 4th at Easter at the Fairyhouse Festival. I don't know how he's done it. Like, what was he beating that day? Do you have a handy?
I'm trying to think. The King of PRs.
Yeah.
When he won or when he was beat?
No, he was beaten at Easter. He was 4th at Fairyhouse.
I see it. He was in a novice handicap hurdle. He was a long way beat though. That was off 106. That was in 2023.
No. I'm hardly making this up, am I?
I can't see. He won at Punchestown.
Was he behind McDermott or something?
I can see now.
Hang on. Bear with us there for a moment.
He was behind Dancing Jeremy at Thurles of all horses. And then fell behind Unexpected Party in March, and then was beaten by Captain's Nephew at Fairyhouse last time out.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Beaten by
beaten a long way.
Another star of the top.
Another top legend.
Yeah.
I think
it's an absolute good thing Sunday.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Even going fresh, I like another one that's fresh of Gavin Cromwell's, and one that won last time out. I think I tipped him on the podcast last time he ran. It was Midnight. It is. Connorstone Walsh riding for Gavin Cromwell. Won off 112, jumped really, really well, and made all the running, beating Battle of Ridgeway when last seen in January. He must have had some sort of issue that he hasn't been seen since, but that was his first time kind of taking prominent tactics, and it just seemed like it improved the horse. So if he goes to the front and can jump from fence to fence, I think Midnight It Is would have a great chance of winning this. Did this race come under consideration for Count Danadek, or was it always Cheltenham? Because he would like it 26 grand to the winner, 2.5 miles, would have got in off a nice way.
Yeah.
Or did
No, I've never really looked at it. You're kind of like when we were planning, like you could nearly been thinking about the Limerick, the Munster National if you wanted to go here, but Limerick never came under consideration because you
It's
usually
always
wouldn't get
testing,
ground.
yeah.
So you just like when I'm going through the list of races, like I just skip past Limerick. I wouldn't, which you probably shouldn't do. You should mark it down anyway. But most of the time they're jumping at Limerick. He's not going to get his ground anyway. But look, it's
it's fair enough.
Come here, he's going to take us abroad on next week. All going well, touch wood, But that's the plan anyway. So
that'll be fun.
He's taking us to Cheltenham, and we won't complain.
Absolutely, yeah. You'd rather go to Cheltenham than go to Bleeding Limerick anyway. So.
Come here, look. To be honest, like I'd rather stay at home for more money, but it's Cheltenham as well, And
when you're ever going to own a horse that can bring you there, so.
Yeah, and if he runs in the race on a Saturday, all of a sudden he's a Saturday horse.
Saturday horse, yeah. I own the Saturday horse,
isn't it? A Saturday horse. So,
is it going to be a premier race day? Oh my God! Bringing a horse that brings you to a premier race day. Wow. God. Very good. Right, a 5-runner beginners concludes the card deck, and an old favourite of yours, Faring Glory, makes his return after, a season just went kind of.
He burst.
Belly up, didn't it? Yeah. So fell when he had the Talworth. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he fell with the Talworth at his mercy, and then burst in what was formerly the Delight, whatever it is called now. Back to 2 miles behind Ballyburn. Look, starts at 2 mile 3 here. All being well with him, he should just go and win, though, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
If they've recovered, obviously Mint Boy should give him a race. 137 rated hurdler. Can't see King of Kong being too interested in lining up prominent here. Little mix-up, decent enough hurdler, but again, probably not in his best interest to get involved with the top 2. And then Welldale, little to no chance on all known form. So would you fancy a Mint Boy? Because you're probably going to get odds on with Faring Glory. Would you fancy Mint Boy enough to take him on, or would you just be watching this?
I think off level weights a healthy Faring Glory, if he can jump fences, wins this.
Murders him, yeah.
Yeah, it's off level weights. I'm guessing. You're taking a chance that Faring Glory can't jump fences, Mint Boy can, or Faring Glory is not a well horse. So it's not a betting race. Faring Glory all going well.
Yeah,
should go.
If the ground was to get very testing, if it was to get very, very testing, I think you could justify yourself backing Mint Boy, because horses that burst or horses that have, breeding, that gets, it gets kind of more. It becomes a bigger problem on more testing ground. So if it was to absolutely torrentially lash rain, which brought heavy into the description, I don't think that's going to happen. But if that did happen and both horses were lining up and I was getting odds against on Mint Boy, I'd back him. But
I don't expect, after all the winners I'll have backed on Sunday, I don't expect to have to back anything in this race, Andy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, look, that brings us to the end of the Munster National card. Napa the Tap, I suppose, is the company sergeant. Unless you have any appeals there, Dec? Or unless, I don't know how mad you are on them or not.
My nap would probably be the king of PRs.
Okay, the king of PRs for Dec. Fair enough. I'm going to keep with the company sergeant. I'm not massively going to be getting heavily involved. I could see Ask the Bookie going very well in that in the handicap hurdle at 240. That mark of 105 could be silly if he can rediscover his hurdle form from around this time last year. But we'll see what happens. Anything else, Dec? Anything else then, Dec, for Saturday at Limerick or Leopardstown, or possibly even Sunday at Leopardstown?
Have a look at Leopardstown. I think it's a nice enough card now at Limerick. Tomorrow we have, look, there's the mayor's race over 2 mile 6, and I see a lot of people on Twitter talking about how great a price Jatara is. I know she finished second to Ballybourne, and she's a horse I absolutely loved and have a lot of time for her, but she has to give £10 to a filly I'm also a big fan of, a 5-year-old Feet of a Dancer. She's rated £14 below Jatara, but like I think Feet of a Dancer she definitely go in off our current mark at the moment. So I don't think it's as simple as it looks, and I think Feet of a Dancer could give her an awful lot to think of on Saturday. So
Feet of a Dancer's fit, is she as well?
I think it was May she ran, was it?
Okay, maybe not then.
She won in May. She won in May. Look,
right.
She won at the Fairy House, the Winter Festival, and then she was toured at Leopardstown in that the Mayor's handicap, and then she's gone and won in May. Like she's improving, and she's only 5, so she hasn't had a tough life so far. I think she's really, really nice. I think she's
okay.
Yeah, like I wonder, she could be a Mayor's hurdle horse. I'm not saying she'll win it, but she could be. She's gonna get £10 on Saturday, so tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think it's as straightforward as Jesus will lump on that 9-4. Happy Christmas.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I wouldn't be back in Jatara on Saturday anyway. It's £10 is an awful lot to give away on your seasonal reappearance. Unless you're like an absolute full blown Grade 1 animal, which she was at novice level, but I wouldn't. She was kind of fringe, actually, I suppose. But she was a decent mare. But like Feet of a Dancer, as I said, Feet of a Dancer could be anything.
Like she's rated 145. If she's a 160 horse, like she's been talked about, or a 155 horse, or even a 150 horse, that one takes some nice prize. But they're coming here, and she's gonna give away the weight, so. She might not be off either. She might just hack around.
You never know.
Who knows?
Anything else then, Dec?
Yeah, 350. There's a handicap hurdle over 2 miles and half a furlong. Gordon Elliott has Voice of Reason, 4-year-old winner on the flat. Held up on handicap debut and kept on. That's the one that's sticking out to me there. And then a 425, the first division of the 2 mile 5 handicap hurdle, Harvey's Honour. Now, you'd need to forgive Harvey's Honour his last run, but if you can, I think he's going to go very, very close. He had a lovely run in handicap debut, but the next time, when was probably off, a little bit disappointing. But I'm prepared to forgive that run and put a line through it, and hopefully get a little bit of a better price tomorrow. Because
11-1 at the minute. Market's open there.
I'll happen with that. What's the price is Voice of Reason?
17-2, not unfancied actually.
Nice enough double.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Feet of a Dancer, Dec, is that the open race? No, it's the 245, is it?
It is.
It's the 245. Has the Jatara 9-4, 11-5 Jatara now, so very, very marginally came in. Feet of a Dancer, the 4-1, third in at the minute. Riviera.
Keep backing Jatara, lads. Just keep backing. Don't get more money. Keep backing Jatara. Just keep backing until she jumps off.
Until Feet of a Dancer goes 7-1.
I'll just hold and hold and hold.
Very good. There's a few I liked across the pond, but I don't know if this is the pod for it. Like we were both talking offline about Continuous in the Champion Stakes.
Ned Bribey here now with his notebook. If you start that, go on, give them. There, I think we can't not. He's trained in Ireland, and the price is ridiculous.
Yeah, the price is insane. He's priced on essentially getting taken out by a fatality in the arc from the wide draw. You have to give him another chance. Christos Sumi, I'm going to keep the ride. No, I'm just convinced this horse is better than what he's shown. He's around 40 or 50-1. He can't go on back to the Champion Stakes, in my opinion.
I got 90, so that.
Yeah, for 2 places, you madman.
You
only need one.
So why are you going to give me win only? Like can't. Why wouldn't they give me a bigger price win only?
I know. You can win the exchanges.
Yeah, but
it's weird that they put. Yeah, they put a handicap in the middle of the card, the Quipco British Champion Sprint Stakes. which may as well be a blatant handicap at this rate.
They have one at the start of the card as well, haven't they?
The long distance.
About 15 stone against that one.
Actually, funny enough, I thought I know we're going completely off the record here, but I think Burdett Road is a big price for any of the jump fans out there.
I back Burdett Road, Andy.
Yeah, I could see him going well. I'm not going to go through this.
Well, I'll throw them out anyway. This is a one-off.
It's a one-off. Do you fancy it? The fillies and mares probably nothing. Like, are people out here saying this is like the best Champions Day renewal that they can remember? It's absolute nonsense. But anyway,
I'll tell you who I like. Burdett Road and Caius Chorister, is it?
Chorister. Which race is this now?
In the Stayers race.
They're both in the Stayers, are they? Chorister. Oh, she's mental. That mare never settles. You should have seen her. You should see how she ran in the Ascot Gold Cup. I've never seen a keener horse in my life.
But she'll go on the ground.
She will, yeah. She will. But it looks like, it looks like, no, she'd need to settle. She's plenty of ability. She just needs to settle.
Yeah.
I've
Flora of Bermuda.
Of course you do.
Yeah, big fan of hers, a 2-year-old. I took 2 on the fillies and mares. Hang on a minute. I don't know how many days are. I just looked at the farm. Who can go on the ground? Farm is farm. Quantamera and Grateful.
Okay.
And then I've Metropolitan in the 315. What's that?
That's the QE2 handicap, sorry.
That's the QE2 handicap.
It's the mile group 1, but yeah.
And then obviously continuous,
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Well.
I'll have a little bet on Burdett Road. I've gone back continuous. I don't really give a rat's about any of the other races, but I actually have gotten involved in the legitimate handicap on the card, the Balmoral. Hoping the high numbers have it. I know you love to hear that, Dec. I'm going to back Cicero's Gift.
What does that mean? Are they going to split into 2 in this race?
They'll probably split into 4 knowing it's Ascot.
No, is this not on the round track now?
Oh no, the Balmoral, unless they've changed it, it's because on the straight course.
Is everything not on the?
No. The straight course is used at Ascot. Like the Stayers race starts on the straight course. Obviously, the sprint race, the QE2, the Balmoral.
No, they moved the QE2 to the round course. It's on the hurdle track.
Is this a recent?
This happened the other day. Yeah.
All right, I must have been buried under a rock. Unless you're making that up, you could well be. And this is why we'll never cover English racing ever again. Anyway, the only last one I'm going to put up here is Cicero's Gift, who is rated 108, ran in 1 handicap off 107 and beat Holloway Boy. So Holloway Boy in here as well, up towards the top of the weights. There's only £1 between them, but Cicero's Gift, I think, is better than what he's shown this season. Holloway Boy reversed the form in him a Haydock, but getting back into handicap company, I'm going to take a chance on him around 20-1. So yeah, there we go. The champion bumper card from Ascot covered within 5 minutes there. But continuous Dec is going to go in the Bolivian, is he?
Oh, absolutely. Like you just said, the last time he ran over the trip, he won, and the runner-up absolutely bolted up at the Irish Champions Festival. And he handles the ground. You just have to go over there and handle the ground because they're running it. And it'll be heavier than Limerick, even heavier than Limerick at Christmas.
Champions Day, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, give me a break. Yeah, for Champions, as long as you don't go to France or America and run your race there, which Continuous technically did, but look, it's fine. He was taken out and didn't really have a race in the Arc. Right, that brings us to an end of Top 71, where we ended up covering a little bit of Ascot as well. It's fun as always, Dec, but I do very much appreciate your time. Don't forget to keep sharing, subscribing, and there'll be horses to follow out this week on the Twitter page, so do keep an eye out on that as well. But until then, guys, that was Top 71, and bye-bye.
Look.